Want to thank the panelists for being here. Thank you for your past and current public service, particularly you, Mr. Melito, your prior military service as JAG officer in the United States Army.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, days after the Republican majority passed a budget to open the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to oil drilling, we are now moving forward with a bill that will override important environmental laws and concerns of many coastal states, including my own, to rapidly expand offshore drilling to any area. For almost 40 years, we have had careful, comprehensive, methodical, 5-year reviews that identify where lease sales are going to happen. This process includes input and vetting from industry, state and local governments, stakeholders, and the public. This time-tested approach gives affected communities a voice in the decision-making process and protects both environmentally and economically sensitive areas. Yet this bill proposes that we change that pragmatic and balanced process and allow the Secretary of the Interior the power to offer lease sales whenever and wherever he wants. Now stakeholders would no longer have a say in where future drilling would occur. Their opinions would be meaningless. This sounds like the big government overreach the majority often decries. Change in this process alone makes this bill a non-starter for me. Yet this bill also tries to win support by offering special payments to Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, explicitly leaving out the state of Maryland that has long resisted any attempt to open the Atlantic to drilling. Virginia would receive revenues for allowing drilling to occur off its coast, and Marylanders would face all the risks of that activity, but none of the revenue. Oil spills do not adhere to state boundaries. An event like the Deepwater Horizon off the coast of Virginia would decimate the Maryland fishing and tourism industries. This is unfair and nothing but a blatant attempt to incent support for dangerous offshore drilling. Our coastal community and economy rely heavily on our waters being healthy and our shoreline being accessible. Our watermen, fisheries, crabbers, and tourism industry depend not just on the Chesapeake Bay, but on a clean coast for their livelihoods. Marylanders have been overwhelmingly clear that offshore drilling poses too much risk and is not wanted near our shores. In Maryland, a number of local jurisdictions and municipalities, chambers of commerce, and restaurant associations have formally opposed offshore drilling and seismic airgun blasting. They join more than 130 coastal municipalities and nearly 1,200 local, state, and federal elected officials who have formally opposed offshore drilling and seismic airgun blasting. Clean and renewable energy industries are booming in Maryland and across the country. We should be focused on supporting new American businesses and diversifying our energy infrastructure, not dangerously incentivizing risky offshore oil drilling. My state of Maryland is about to become home to one of the largest offshore wind farms in the country. This project will create 10,000 jobs, bring in millions in tax revenues, and cut hundreds of thousands of pounds of carbon emissions. This landmark clean energy project is indicative of the direction not just Maryland is headed, but the country as a whole in wind, solar, hydro, and geothermal power. I strongly oppose this bill and maintain that we should be looking for ways to incentivize states to promote clean energy and clean energy jobs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back the balance of my time.